So they're on the clock,
What if
and the pick is in.
Just before we hear it, what if Arizona had called and said, we'll give you 15 and our number 1 next year?
Well, that's something you got to consider then. If you're going to get a ransom for it, but we don't know that that's happened or that would happen.
All right, well, let's go back to our pot. We all threw $1 in.
Yeah, I
Who'd we all
lost.
pick? Who'd we all
I just
pick?
funded you guys. I gave you
Denzel
Starbucks.
Ward is off the
I'm
book,
still
and
alive,
that was
I know
Dan and
that.
Jeff.
Who'd you pick, Hub?
I picked Minka Fitzpatrick.
Oh, okay. Is anybody left?
Yeah, I got
Roquan
Roquan.
Smith.
Oh, you got a Roquan. Okay.
So you're the one that Mark Grody polled and got Denzel Ward out of? Is that
No.
what
Hey, Mitch is alive with Derwin James. Eli's alive with Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah, I think that pick is in was a hangover from the last one, guys. I think the Bears are still on the board, at least in what we're seeing on these monitors.
Yeah.
Well, they do take their time a little bit. There's a lot that goes on.
Why not take their time?
Huh?
Why not take their
Yeah,
time?
exactly. Listen, we're on 670thescore.com/listen. I didn't mean for you to listen. I mean, I got all this listen to our live and watch our live video stream, 670 The Score and WBBM News Radio's Facebook pages. My daughter Kelly's watching, Tom, you on Facebook right now at Oklahoma.
You know,
how crazy is that?
People are watching from all over the world. I've already gotten a text message that people are in Costa Rica watching. I have a friend down there and
See?
stuff. It is.
Tom,
it
it's
is
not
all-
so bad,
but,
is it?
You know, this real quick. This Josh Allen pick for the Buffalo Bills. I think the similarity of environment and surroundings and the weather that you've had to experience is probably a helpful reason why Buffalo could go for a guy like this, because there's going to be more similarities between the climates of Wyoming and Buffalo than UCLA, USC, and Buffalo.
Well, and the other thing is they kept both their number 1s and got their quarterback. I mean, that's a nice move that they made.
All the talk about Josh Allen has been about the accuracy, right? Can he be an accurate quarterback in the NFL? I talked with a quarterbacks coach today, as a matter of fact, and I wanted to get his opinion. He said, I think accuracy can be taught.
Here we go, folks.
He says he's taught people. Now Roger Goodell is going to tell us who the Bears picked.
With the 8th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, linebacker, Georgia. As the Bulldogs surprised on their way to the national championship game, Smith emerged as one of college football's most dynamic players at linebacker. He brings tremendous athleticism to a defense and was clocked at a 4.51 40 time at the combine. Smith makes up for being undersized with great instincts and leadership for a defense. He's the kind of player that can transform an NFL defense.
All I got to say, if this were a game right now here at Soldier Field, I'd be saying, and listen to this crowd. I think the home folks are happy. Roquan Smith, let's begin the dissection of the newest linebacker for the Chicago Bears in the year that Brian Urlacher enters Canton. Tom Thayer, we'll start with you.
Well, again, it's just a complete changeover from the linebacker position we've got to know in the history of the Chicago Bears. You're going to see that top of the line inside linebacker, both from at the position where he's lined up off the line of scrimmage and the penetration ability and anticipation and his ability to run downfield and coverage responsibilities. I really do think that this is a wise pick to match up a young linebacker with an experienced coach like Vic Fangio.
Dan Pompei.
Yeah, I like it. You know, I think some of the things we talked about, getting an alpha on this defense, getting a leader, getting someone who could change the culture. I think Roquan Smith is those things. I think he's a 4-down linebacker. He's got speed. You know, this guy was a wideout in high school at one point. The scouts I talked with brought up 3 players in comparison to this guy. Ray Lewis, Derek Brooks, and Lance Briggs. That's pretty good. He's a little on the smaller side, certainly 6'1", 236, but he's young. You know, he might grow into his body if that's what the defense calls for him to do.
Hub Arkish.
You know, you got a great football player at number 8. You have the exact opposite of Ryan Pace's first 3 first-round draft choices. As opposed to these ceilings and traits guys, you got the best player at his position in college football. And these are the things you're trying to do with a top 10 pick. So you have to feel good about it. What continues to nag at me is I'm just not sure how much better your football team is now than it was 10 minutes ago.
Patrick Manley.
I've got to disagree with you. I think you got a lot better. I think Vic Fangio just hit his second hole-in-one today. I think this is a great pick for him. All I see is Danny Trevathan and Roquan Smith roaming that second level of the defense. That's going to be a tough defense to deal with now with those guys in the middle.
Butkus Award winner and the SEC's Defensive Player of the Year. And the loud ovation is for last year's first-round pick, the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, Mitchell Trubisky. They're standing here at Soldier Field, and Mitchell's kind enough to join us for a brief time. Perfect timing too, Mitch. Perfect timing with the selection of Roquan Smith. I know you do your homework too, and you know, you're not far removed from the college game, obviously. So, what, if anything, do you know about this man? And welcome.
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? I love it. We got a ball player, man. He's a beast. He's a beast out of Georgia. We got an absolute football player, great leader. I got my inside sources, so we got a great guy to help us in Chicago, and we're just going to keep things rolling. I love the energy we got, and he's going to add to our already great defense, so very excited about the pick.
Hey, do you feel relieved now that this experience is behind you? Because, Mitch, we were sitting on the other side of you last year. We're up here thinking about it, guessing. All of a sudden they come to the podium and says with the trade, the second pick, Mitchell Trubisky. Are you glad it's behind you?
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm up here in a t-shirt and jeans right now. Last year I was sweating in a suit, a three-piece suit, so it changed my life. It was the biggest blessing to be able to go through that with my family, and to come to Chicago was the best part of it. I feel like I landed in the perfect spot, came to the best fan base in the country, and we're going to get back to Bears football and get this winning franchise going.
Mitch, you get to line up against the Bears defense 5 times a week in practice. With what you know at this point about Roquan Smith, how do you think he makes your ball club better?
Well, one, he's a smart ball player. He's a football player, so he's going to come in, study Coach Fangio's complex defense, and he's going to know where to be in the right spot. And then defense, when you're in the right spot, all you got to do is make the plays. And he knows how to tackle. He knows how to hit. He's got a nose for a ball. So just having those instincts, his leadership ability, he's going to hold the other guys accountable, and you gotta love that young energy, especially on defense. So to have a guy step up and just make plays for you, I think he's going to help our defense, and we're just going to be even deeper at the linebacker position.
Mitch, offensive guys usually hope for offensive additions to help their units. Anything in particular you're hoping to get with the rest of the draft here?
I mean, I'm really happy about our offseason acquisitions that we got. So anything we got, we get going forward is just going to be bonus. So I haven't studied too much about the other players in the draft, but I totally believe in Coach Nagy and Ryan Pace's plan moving forward, and whoever we're going to get, they're going to be great football players, and I know they're going to fit well in our locker room and for the city.
Mitch, Tom talked about it last year. You were the guy up there on the stage getting called out to be the number 2 pick here in Chicago. Now, I'd say it was March you guys reported, right?
Yeah.
How much of a different feeling did you have personally, and how much more comfortable are you now walking into Hallis Hall every day and being that leader of the team that all your teammates call you?
Yeah, it's totally different. At first, the building, you're just like going in there and you're just getting used to things.
Names.
Yeah, you don't know anybody. Now I know everybody in the building, and it's walking out. It's basically like I'm coming home every day. So see all my family members at the building, just going to work, knowing exactly what I have to do, and it's enjoyable. I don't have to worry about anything. Just go in there, do what I got to do, enjoy the people I'm around, and make sure I'm getting better, and make sure the people around me are getting better every single day. And it's the best job in the world. I couldn't be more happy.
You hear a low murmur here because the fans excited about the Bears selection of Roquan Smith out of Georgia. You're listening to the Scores Draft coverage on 670thescore.com here at Soldier Field. Mitchell Trubisky, kind enough to join us here. While he was speaking, another Notre Damer was drafted. San Francisco at 9 takes the left tackle, Mike McGlinchey. We'll break that down in a minute. Mitchell, if Roquan was sitting here, walking in here right now, what would you be telling him about what this franchise is like from your perspective, and how excited should he be about it?
Yeah. this is the best franchise in the NFL. It's one from the beginning. We have the most Hall of Famers. We have the most numbers retired. And when you get drafted to this franchise, that should be your #1 goal, to one day be amongst the greats of football and go to the Hall of Fame and just work your way. So it's an absolute honor to wear the orange and blue. And when you come here, you just got to know that and carry it with a lot of pride, because there's a lot of great people that came before you, and we'll come after you as well.
Hey, Mitch, 2 years in a row now, you've got to master the terminology of 2 difficult NFL systems. How long will it take you to understand what you're saying, and how long will it take you to get into your comfort zone?
I think I'm already ahead of where I was last year as far as the offense goes, just knowing what to say and knowing what to do. This offense, it's been a lot of fun to learn, and I feel like I know it better already, and it's just going to keep grooving it and really mastering it. So I feel like we could go out there and play a game this week, but it's not going to be as complex as we'd like it and will be in August and September. So just got to keep mastering it, and hopefully I get to know it like it's the back of my hand, and I won't even have to think about the calls. They'll just come out, and then I'll know where everybody's out on the field.
When you learn an offense, sometimes you got to learn different terminologies or different ways to call plays. I know some of the offensive coordinators we had before, the protections were names and the routes were numbers. Another offensive coordinator would come in and protections were numbers and routes were names. Has there been a big difference for you to having learned, it's almost like learning a different language. You got to put names to routes instead of numbers to routes and all that kind of thing. How is that transition going for you?
Yeah, the biggest thing from last year is, so to learn a new offense, the best thing to do is just try to blank your mind from anything in the past. Don't compare the new offense to the old offense. Just totally forget about everything we did. And obviously, similar concepts and things like that will come up, but start with a blank slate, learn Coach Nagy's offense from ground bottom, and really just memorize that. Flashcards, drawing, dry erase board, just great memorization, saying it out loud in the mirror, going over it over and over again until you know it really well. So it's been a really fun offense to learn, and the way they're teaching it, it just makes a lot more sense. It makes sense, and it's just been rolling.
Mitch, you've got a 3-day minicamp under your belt now. What can you tell us about Allen Robinson and Trey Burton and Taylor Gabriel?
Well, Allen's still coming back from knee last year, so he's looking great in rehab, and he's very excited to be here, and I can't wait to see how he contributes as soon as he can catch passes on the field. Trey's been awesome player, runs really good routes, very slippery offensive guy, and it's hard for defenses to really match up against him. I think he's a big mismatch problem for us on offense. Very smart, is already helping guys getting lined up with this offense, and just allows me to operate faster as a quarterback. So it's like having another leader in the huddle, and he just gets guys set and knows where to be, and is a great pass catcher as well.
Mitch, do you have any history with Roquan?
I think my very first start in college was against Georgia. So
no kidding.
Yeah.
What do you remember about him? Tell us about him.
That's interesting.
It was a blur. He probably tackled me a couple times, maybe a couple sacks. I don't know. You guys probably got the stats over there.
I can look it up, but I'll save you the trouble. No.
Did you guys win?
He can't tackle me anymore. We don't tackle in practice. So.
That being said, so obviously when you have a linebacker of his ilk and size, he's about 6'1", 236 pounds at the moment. A guy who some people think would be a perfect fit, as I've indicated, as a weak side linebacker in a 4-3. He'll play inside in a 3-4 with us, but as a quarterback, a guy that mobile who can also cover the heck out of a back end of a defense at the intermediate, and then be carried into the end zone with a running back and still make a play and tap the ball away. How you deal with that type of player as a quarterback?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at our running backs, that's what I compare it to. Like, can you have a guy that can tackle Jordan Howard, and can you have a guy that can run with Tariq Cohen? Both are very tough tasks. I think Roquan could do both, and in some capacity, and that's what he's going to have to do going against the other running backs in this league. So can he tackle the bruiser, and can he stay with the very quick guy coming out of the backfield? So it's a tough task, but I think we got a guy who can do both, and he's very strong and can move. So, I mean, as a quarterback, that's very tough to go up against on the other side.
Hey, Mitch, this year in training camp, you guys are going to go up and practice against Denver for a couple days and then play against them in a preseason game. How do you like practicing against an opponent? I don't know if you ever have before in college, you probably haven't, but and then playing against them on that fourth day. How do you feel about that first-time experience?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done it yet before, so it should be an interesting experience. Everything I do, I just go in the mindset, this is going to make us better. Everything that Coach Nagy and Ryan Pace do, it has a purpose to it. So it's our job to believe in that plan and make sure we get better from it.
Let's listen to the pick from Arizona.
The Arizona Cardinals select Josh Rosen, quarterback, UCLA.
Josh Rosen, quarterback, UCLA. In leading the Bruins last season, Rosen completed 62.6% of his passes and averaged 341.5 yards per game. He boasts precise footwork and the ability to extend plays from the pocket, working with very good mechanics to his throws.
Josh Rosen, under pressure, throws, caught in the end zone, touchdown!
Though Rosen has drawn questions to his coachability, he is considered a prized quarterback prospect.
Well, this is what Hub thought. Arizona would likely move up to get something like this done with Josh Rosen and Mitchell Trubisky being interested in the quarterback position as you are. You guys are all one big fraternity. What do you think of what's going on today with Baker Mayfield, for example, going number 1, Sam Darnold number 3, Josh Allen number 7, and now Josh Rosen number 10?
I think it's interesting. I try not to say too much because usually when you talk too much, that's when you get closer to say the wrong thing. So I'm very excited for all these quarterbacks. Obviously, it's like a fraternity, so like after games, you always go shake the other quarterback's hand. It's kind of like a ritual. And we all kind of stick together and help each other out in some way. So I'm happy for these guys. Obviously, it's a dream come true for them, and it's life-changing for them and their families. But, I mean, looking at the guys, I say, yeah, they're pretty good. Try not to say too much.
That's right.
Give them some credit, but not too much.
Because you're a blue-collar competitor, that's why.
That's it.
It's exactly what it is. That's
it.
exactly why you're not saying anything. Real quick, Josh Rosen had struck up a relationship with Aaron Rodgers, and he's been mentoring him through this process. You guys all have agents that share certain clients and so forth. I tend to think there was somebody you got tight with in the quarterback realm, but I don't remember who. Did that happen at all during the draft process for you?
A little bit. I mean, my agency represents Ben Roethlisberger, Blake Bortles, Mariota, Goff, Carson Wentz. So I've been in contact with all those guys. I've talked to them before, got advice from them throughout the process and the offseason and all that stuff as well. But
now you and Goff are besties, right?
Oh, that's right.
I mean,
room dogs.
I don't say besties, but yeah, we're good friends. We're good friends.
How about from this draft class? Did you get to know any of the prospects, any of the quarterback prospects?
Not really this class. Didn't get to know any of them that well.
Mitch, I'm curious. You're the only person in the room who can really speak to this. Now, let's speak about yourself. You don't have to talk about anybody else. Something that I thought was pretty unfortunate happened to Josh Allen yesterday via Twitter. I don't know the kid. I mean, I'm assuming that something that was said 6-7 years ago shouldn't be all that relevant today. Knowing where you were as a sophomore and a junior in high school to where you were when the Bears called your number last year, how different were you? How much had you changed from that point? Were you even thinking any of the same things that you were thinking 6-7 years earlier?
Definitely not. Definitely not. So, I mean, my advice to these guys would just be very careful on social media. I mean, however old they were 6-7 years ago, I mean, you would never think you would be, even if you had the biggest dreams of playing in the NFL, which I did, you never think it will actually happen until it does. And you don't understand the magnitude of your position and how many people are looking towards you, how many kids are looking up to you, and then on the flip side of it, how many people are trying to bring them down. Like, who goes that far back trying to dig up some dirt on somebody just to hopefully he falls in the draft a little bit. Like, it's crazy what people will do to either get a leg up or to see you fall down. And nowadays you just got to be careful because you never know who's looking out to get you. And so you got to make people proud, and then you can't let other people bring you down. So you just got to be careful.
Mitch, can you take us in the offensive meetings a little bit with Coach Nagy and Mark Helfrich and your offensive staff? You guys are installing a new offense right now. How is that for Coach Nagy being the head coach and kind of being the offensive guru? Who's doing all the install? Who has all, who's in front of you drawing up the plays and telling you what's going on?
Yeah, it's been going really well. So Coach Nagy does the team install. We install as an offense, and then once we review, I'm in the room with Coach Helfrich and Coach Roquan, my quarterback's coach, and then along with Chase Daniel and Tyler Bray. So we install as a team, and then we really go even more throughout the details as an individual group. And we've been doing that for weeks, a couple weeks now. So it's been going really well, and it's amazing how Coach Nagy teaches it, how he takes time with the details, goes over the important parts of the play, and just And it's not just me knowing it. The whole offense is going to know it. So everybody can be on the same page. Everybody's clicking. Everyone has the answers. So when the defense gives us a look, everyone knows what to go to.
All right, Mitchell, we're going to let you fly. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're excited. I know they're excited. Mitchell Trubisky, everybody.
Let's hear it. Let's go.